everybody, welcome to the installation of the Truck System HMX platform on a 2024 Defender. Guys, these are probably the same for 2022, 2023, and 2024. First thing you're gonna wanna do is remove your rear tire. For those out there, you're gonna wanna jack that up, make sure it's secure. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Thank you, Greg. Move that onto the way. All right, guys, so when you grab your track, we've got some dogs here. So this is definitely a two-person job. So you'll notice it's got a variety of bolt patterns on the inside here. What I recommend you do is measure those out before you put them on. Guys, once you do install them, you'll be able to see which ones they are. So it does make it a little bit easier going forward. So I know you might have some frustrations initially. I promise they'll be subdued after your first install. So two people are gonna grab this track. I also recommend you put it in 2x4 and unlock your rear diff if you have that functionality. So we are going to install that. So just give us a quick moment. We'll come back and we will show you what it's like on the hub. All right, guys, welcome back. As you can see, we've got the rear track system on here. Recommendation, obviously, two-person job. That's great, Greg. Thank you so much. Do recommend torquing these to 90 foot-pounds. After your first ride, come back, retorque these. It does sometimes require you to get in and out of the machine and go back and forward. Just please make sure that machine is in park when you do torque the lug nuts, as it is a bit of a risk to everybody else. Anyways, step 2 to the rear. Here is the torsion bar, or the anti-rotation bar, as many would say. And so the unique part about this kit is it does mount perfectly into your hitch. From any stock machine, it's got a variety of different locations. Greg's gonna go ahead and install that for you guys real quick for you to have a look at.
This is just an added hitch receiver.
Yes, yeah, so I added the hitch receiver on there, you guys. I will post that Amazon link for you as well if you do not want to get rid of your hitch. They do come with a very convenient hole in there. As you can see where Greg's hand is, there's a bolt location. There we go. Sometimes the easiest jobs are the hardest, huh? All right, great. And the anti-rotation bar, fantastic.
You notice it's directional. This would be the way facing forward.
Guys, take note of that. And you've got a variety of different placements, and we'll talk about the torsion on the rear tracks here in a moment, as it does actually matter. And again, this is definitely a two-person job. So we'll come back to you when this is bolted up. We'll show you how we've done it and one of the secrets of the trades.
Hey guys, this is the torsion shock and how you install it on these tracks. You have a lower bolt right here, and there will be about 2 spacers, one right here, 2 right there. You add your shock right here. $19mm bolt.
Ignore the dogs in the background, guys.
You'll need a 19mm wrench and socket for this one.
And where does it go, Greg?
Wrench goes in on the inside of the track right here.
All right, see if you guys can come around here and we'll grab that.
There we go, that's all nice and tightened. And then you take the receiving end of the shock and you bring it up here. If you have troubles getting this to line up, what I want you to do is you take your
jack, and you
and
use the jack
lift
for
it
your
up.
adjustments.
And when you lift it up, that will give you proper alignment for the shock. And you can take your shock and nicely slide it in
go.
like so.
See how I what that is?
And then take your nut, put your nut on. Now, what this shock does is it basically allows this track to have tension going back and forth upwards. If you feel the need that you need to adjust this, you will back off this nut here and you will spin out
Your heim joint.
your hind joint, and that will give you...
But however, just keep in mind that you have adjustment here on the actual hitch as well. So if you need to create a larger adjustment category, that is where we recommend that being done. In the manual, you guys will see what the adjustment is for this torsion assembly. Recommend following that. For us here in Northern Ontario, we go just a little bit tighter on this because you never know when you might go through some open ice and just catch an edge. The last thing you want to do is catch the bottom of this track up onto your bumper or your actual plastic. So I recommend going a little tighter on that. All right, so we are going to move on to the front here, guys. Just one more look at this. Again, that is an Amazon hitch accessory. Make sure everything's pointed down. There you go. All right, welcome back to the front of the machine. Again, what we've done here, thanks Greg, appreciate that, is we've removed the stock wheel, so just pull that off there, Greg. Thank you so much. Greg, it's already unbolted. We really appreciate the ambiance. All right, guys, so I'd say one of the hardest parts about installing this kit, and it's not hard at all, is if you take time and drill out these rivets. So the rivets, I think it's I can't remember the exact drill bit size. I think it's 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. It doesn't matter really what it is. As long as you get inside this rivet here, you'll actually be able to drop that plastic protector for the boot here. And then when you mount these up, depending on your tab structure, now this is a 2024, I actually found that if I were just bending these out ever so slightly to get some good fitment from them, they fit a little bit better. But as you can see here, this is jacked up. Have no concerns about your boot touching here. I promise you it doesn't touch. This has been running for several hundred kilometers at this moment in time. When you let this suspension come back up and compress, that is far, far away. But this is what your end result is going to look like, guys. And as you can tell, we've run these guys pretty hard already, so there is some wear, but it's been run pretty hard, and there's been absolutely no issues so far. From this point in time, this little dowel here actually fits in the track for those that are sitting there right in here. And so this is your anti-rotation bar. It stops it from going backwards and forwards. It's more of a mechanical adjustment than a shock adjustment. Much preferred this over anything else. And so when you're putting this track on the hub, you can see where it was sitting before. Make sure your dowel sits in there first. And after that, torque it to spec. Make sure your alignment is in spec as well, and you should be good to go.